Hey, what's up, everybody? Wade Watch is coming at you again with another fresh out of the movie theater review. This time for Bad Boys Ride or Die. I almost said for life. I know that joke has worn out its welcome, but this really should have been called for life just to avoid confusion. But anyway, the fourth Bad Boys movie is indeed called Bad Boys Ride or Die. But I did almost say for life, so I guess all of you out there who have been spamming the comment sections with that joke, you guys do have a point because I literally almost said for life. But anyway, getting right into it. I've never been like a mega fan of this franchise. I know a lot of people hold those first two movies that Michael Bay directed like really near and dear, especially Bad Boys 2. I've always just kind of found them, and especially the first two movies, to me they're pretty much just like the typical Michael Bay absurdity, over the top stuff that only works because Will Smith and Martin Lawrence have such good chemistry together. But I will say this, I was pleasantly surprised and taken aback by Bad Boys 3, Bad Boys for Life. I thoroughly enjoyed the emotional, personal story in that movie, so that was a pleasant surprise. But I still wouldn't, put it up there with something like Die Hard or Predator, or like an action movie masterpiece or anything like that. And Bad Boys Ride or Die does kind of like, at least in my opinion, and having just seen it, does kind of like go back to that kind of like lukewarm, mediocre vein of the first two Bad Boys movie, where really just about the only thing that works about it is the chemistry that Will Smith and Martin Lawrence have together. They're after all of these decades. First movie came out in like 93 or something, 96. After all this time, they still have it together. They still bounce off of each other and play off of each other really well, and you really do feel like they've had a bond that's lasted decades. That's about the only thing that works here, and like maybe like one, two, or even three of the action sequences in this film do actually stand out to me. They were masterfully done. But other than that, not a lot to remember here. Not a lot stands out. One of the big issues is that they do something with our dynamic duo here that I just really didn't dig on at all. I don't want to like get into everything. You guys know how I am. You know my style by now. But they kind of like pull like a reverse, like a little switcheroo thing, and I respect the attempt. I understand what they were trying to do, what they were going for, what they were trying to accomplish. But I think the main thing that works about these movies as a whole, at least for me, is that Will Smith's character, he's a certain way, and Martin Lawrence's character is a certain way, and they're kind of opposites, but that's what makes their friendship work. That's kind of the novelty of it, and you don't really have that in this movie. And I'm kind of scratching my head as to why they decided to do it like the way that they ended up doing it, because it really just it didn't work. It kind of fell on its ass. I'm harsh, but that's how I felt about it. And yeah, outside of that, the story is just not as memorable as like any of the first three movies, really. Again, we're not talking about Jason Bourne or Mission Impossible here. These movies are kind of a bit more simple than those espionage spy thrillers, but like things about the first three Bad Boys film, like the story, do stand out to me. Like, we all know Wusa from Bad Boys 2, for example, but there's nothing here that I'm gonna really remember. The villain is very forgettable. Plot is all over the place. It's another one of these action sequels, these big blockbuster existing IP franchises where they get to a certain movie and they have to have 5 movies within one. Once again, I feel like I've been saying that a lot lately, but it's definitely the case here. You could have like taken away any one of the stories here, and I feel like I've been saying this a lot lately, and made it its own movie. And I really just wasn't thinking that the Bad Boys franchise would be the one to be guilty of that. So again, just something else that leaves me like kind of scratching my head. I really I really don't understand what they were trying to do here, or why they felt the need to like really like just like stuff this movie like a Thanksgiving turkey and just like keep it at like 2 hours even. Like if you're gonna do that, make it as long as the Batman, make it as long as No Time to Die, and make it nearly 3 hours long, because people will go and see it. You know, we are getting a lot of 3 hour long movies that people are willing to see. So if you're gonna, you know, make it epic, actually make it epic. But they don't, so it just feels overly convoluted and unfocused and all over the place. But you know, negatives aside, when the action's going down, it's good. A lot of the jokes in this movie, not all of them, this movie is the least funny out of all of them, I have to mention that too, but some of the jokes do land. I did laugh a little bit. Some of the action sequences were pretty solid when they were going down, but other than that, not a lot that I really enjoyed here, really liked here. But because Will Smith and Martin Lawrence do still have great on-screen chemistry, and I do really enjoy seeing the two of them go back and forth and interact with each other, because I did laugh quite a bit in this movie, and because some of the action was actually pretty badass, I will generously give Bad Boys Ride or Die a 6 out of 10, because there was just enough in it to prevent me from going like, yeah, this just bombed with me. There was just enough in it to prevent me from, you know, thinking along those lines. So 6 out of 10 for Bad Boys Ride or Die. This has been another edition of Wave Watches, and I will see you all next time. Peace.